So the reason we went with the S-Class, the reflection, I mean, they all seem similar to me. From the reflection to the S-Class, the biggest thing for us was the size, going up to 101 inches, having the taller height. That's probably about it for us. Okay, the difference between S-Class to just a regular Solitude, we felt were like once. You know, going the hydraulic jacks versus the electric jacks.
We did the S-Class because we felt like, let's get in it and make sure we can like do this before we go and buy out everything that we want.
The next one we'll have a Solitude.
Yeah.
We will do that step up. I
He wants a momentum.
I want a momentum.
But I do not love the garage.
So when we made some life changes, we sold all of our toys. We did make some sacrifices to do a life change. And that was both of us quitting our jobs.
We had the razor, all the fun stuff that you could have, we had.
And so we really miss our side-by-side. So, with that being said, as we continue to reduce our debt and pay everything off, because that's where we're going toward, I want a side-by-side back. So if that's in the works, even if it's 5 years down the road, when we make that upgrade, I would want to be able to carry that with us.
Because we loved it.
And it really
loved it.
Yeah, and it might be 5 years down the road, really. But I'm just saying, like, if we spend that money to upgrade from this in a few years, we're not upgrading anytime soon, then that will have to be a serious conversation. Like, are we going to buy side-by-side someday? So, my biggest tip through this whole process, and this is like unscripted, she doesn't even know what I'm going to say.
I'm scared.
We looked at 1 million RVs on YouTube. And we'd go, okay, we really like these. We'd go figure out where they were at, go look at them. 99% of the time, we didn't like them.
We got it and we were like, oh no.
So before you, like, I suggest you do that. That'll, you know, just like our video, hopefully that'll help you answer some questions and stuff. You need to go walk through it for yourself. So before you roll something out on YouTube or say that this is a must on YouTube, go step foot in it. And go step foot in different RV places that sell them, because we had salesmen that sucked. Like,
and we would have paid more had we not gone to Dallas and gotten their pricing for their sale, and thankfully far matched, but we would have paid more had we not gone and actually searched outside of just the box of Amarillo in Lubbock.
Yeah. That being said, so I knew that we would want to be serviced. Our closest place is Lubbock, where we bought from far. When we were looking in Dallas, I told Haley, I said, if we buy from here, Lubbock is not going to service us. I mean, they have to, I think. But we're
not going to be on the front of their list at all, by any means.
So when we had these furnace problems, I called. They worked on us that day. They didn't fix it, but that wasn't their fault. It was just a complex issue. They worked on us that day. When we went back the second time, they worked on it that day. And I'm sure that we jumped the line, probably people that hadn't bought from there. So that's just something to be really said, is if you can buy local, buy local.
Or get as close to local as you can.
Yeah, but by all means, go to the big city and get some prices, and then go back to your local place and go, hey, you know, I want to buy from this. Is what we told them. I want to buy from you. I want you to service my deal, but you're going to have to match this price. And they did. We did take down, like, we took a picture of all the information of the one in the big city. And so that they could compare. I think we even had like the VIN number or stock number or whatever, so they could pull it up, so they knew that they were pricing apples to apples.
And it had that shower pan that we wanted. That was like another must for us. Is we told them, like, if we're gonna order it, you have to make sure that it's correct, because we don't want it to get here and it have that shower pan, because we're not gonna buy it if it has that shower pan.
Something else to be talked about. We're not rich, so we had to sell our house before we could have got financed with the house and this. That's not how we wanted to do it, because in my business, I had a terrible last winter. We lived on credit cards. So when we sold the house, we were paying everything off and then putting a substantial down payment on this. Yeah. So we went to our bank, told them what we were wanting to do, got a loan based on us paying all that stuff off. I paid my business off, paid all of our credit cards off, paid the house off, put a big down payment on this. So that's how we did it. So this is what I'm saying that was really nice about our local RV place was we put $1,000 down, and everybody might do it. I don't know. We put $1,000 down. We got to order what we want based on us trying to sell our house. They held ours.
They would hold it.
Yeah, and I think they held it for
a month or two.
Let's just say 2 months, because it was a little bit. I thought that was great. And that gave us an opportunity. We came down, walked through this, and spotted some problems and said, that way that they still had time to work those issues out,
Because there were like a couple things that definitely needed to be fixed before we took it home. Like the back door hinge was like coming off the door. Yeah. So, and it had like stripped the door, so we had to have that door replaced. There was stuff that definitely had to be fixed before we could bring it home. And
so when we knew we were closing, we were able to give them those time frames. I think we went up and looked at it again and made sure that we were on track with everything we wanted fixed. Sold the house. That was Memorial Day weekend. We weren't going to be able to buy. The banks were closed. All this was happening on a Friday, so we scheduled a trip to Seattle. Went to Seattle for 5 days. Came back, and then the bank deal was done. Went down and picked up the RV, and it was smooth. I think that was a really, we didn't know what we were doing, but it really worked out well.
I feel like that's God's way of answering to us that we were making the right moves for sure, because it could have been a train wreck.
It was a foolish, like we closed at 1 and hopped on a plane at 3. Like there couldn't be any hiccups.
Right. And our financing, you can do 10, 15 years whenever you go through the dealership. You can a mortgage on an RV. It's crazy. But our bank would only let us go up to 7 years. So that was something you might want to consider too, is some banks will only go up to a certain allotted amount of years.
Yeah. So. Which
made our payment a little bit higher, but that was okay.
But at the 7 years, we got a really low interest rate. I think we're at 6%.
And they start at like 7.5 at a dealership. And that's for like really good credit.
Yeah. And we don't have bad credit. We have okay credit. I think
we have good credit. It's not great, but it's good.
Yeah. But that's something to consider. So we ran the what they were offering at the dealership.
The interest.
Versus what our bank was offering. And yes, we were having a higher payment at the bank than the dealership, but we would have paid double what we were going to pay going through our bank. Almost double.
It was like $51,000 in interest.
Yeah, $51,000 in
at
interest.
At 12%.
Yeah, it was something crazy. So we got 6% at our bank. And
so definitely seek out your options as far as credit unions and your private banks and everything.
Yep. Any other tips about buying it? We didn't even have the tow truck when we bought it. I had it one time, but had toolboxes all in it. So I had to get a friend, bring it up here to our RV park.
We own Solitude.
We own this RV park. So that's a thing that really helps us. She don't pay any slip rent. I beg, like, please help me. So we don't pay electric or slip rent here. We don't pay, my business pays the electric, slip rent, all that.
Your business?
Holt Investments, the RV park?
The RV park pays. The RV park.
Whose business is that?
It's yours, but the RV park pays for everything.
The RV park pays for everything. My business, like I was saying, pays for us to live here. So it makes...
My business pays for him to eat, so it's alright. Oh. You don't like that?
It makes this super cheap. So anyways.
Our kids. Is that our kids?
I hope not. That makes it super cheap living here. So that's something else to consider about RV living. We save a ton of money from our mortgage. We had a big house. What do you think? Our mortgage was like $1,400. $1,300.
Electricity in the summertime was like $450.
Okay, and then gas was minimal.
Not in the wintertime. It was like almost $200.
Okay.
Because we had a fireplace. We burned it often.
So that's like $2,100 just that, plus taxes. So I think we're saving a lot of money doing this. Now that matters on how much you're paying for slip rent and all that. Here, I charge $350 a month. That comes with everything but electric.
Right. And the most expensive electric has been like $100.
Yeah.
And that's your heater. I mean your air conditioner running nonstop during the summer. Which when it's 107 outside, you do want it on. So.
Yep. Anything else?